Welcome to another round of coffee and donuts. I'm Frank, the training director here at Armagen, and this is where I answer your questions about becoming a police officer, dealing with the academy, or even succeeding in the entire career. Let's discuss. Hey, before we get started, a couple things. If you want your questions answered, we answer every question posted on our social media platforms. We start at YouTube and we work our way back. We will answer them in time, and you get a chance to have them here on our actual coffee and donuts. You can also submit a question over on our website if you want something submitted a little bit more privately, a little bit more personally, and submit it over in our contact form over on our website. Additionally to that, go check out our blog. Look at all our blogs. We're posting new blogs every single week where you can get more additional information so that you can go through not only just the academy or the hiring process, but FTO and the career success in general. There's a bunch of tips, and every week is a new blog that's going out there posted. Give me a thumbs up on those or a thumbs down. Let me know if that content is something that's working for you. Now, we have three pre-submitted questions. Let's jump over. First one. Oh, I'm starting off big here. Okay. How about a misdemeanor that's 10 years old, that is expunged in a different state you're applying for? And then quotations, I'm assuming it had something to do with possession of burglary tools. Okay. So, first of all, it's a misdemeanor. So that's a huge win. I'm assuming there was an arrest associated with that, right? Or a warrant or something, right? That got you in to have that. I'm assuming it's a conviction because it's expunged. So you've already done everything right that's possible to mitigate that hurdle from affecting you, right? It's well over that 10-year mark, 7 years, my golden rule for anything major like this. It's well over 10 years. It's expunged, which means they might have found a reason why it should not apply to employment for you in any way, because an expungement is different than sealed. Expungement saying, hey, this individual is reformed or what have you. Expungement is as extreme as it can go. If it's done right, no one should ever be able to access it ever. But you still have to usually disclose it on your hiring forms, particularly your personal history statement, your PHS. It's in a different state, so that's even better if you're saying, hey, I have a misdemeanor with this department and I'm applying to them. That one, it's going to make that hurdle bigger. But you're going to a different state. Yeah, I think you've done everything possible to mitigate that hurdle. Now, it's also going to depend on the specifics that happened in that particular situation, right? Even if it's expunged, can never account for human error. So did the department retain a copy even against a court order? It just, you never know. Regardless, you're going to have to disclose it and you're going to have to be honest about it, but be specific. Don't elaborate. Stick just to the facts, not your perspective, right? And the facts are whatever was documented. So, yeah, I think you got a shot. If you want to discuss that more, sign up for a coaching call. Go over to our website or go to the description here in the video segment if you're listening to the video and sign up for a coaching call. One of our instructors will be able to break that down more for you. But based on just the information I have right here, I'm not going to sit here and say immediate disqualifier. No, I think you're doing everything right to pursue this profession if you truly want to get out there and make a positive impact. Maybe this changed your life around and you can articulate that moving forward. Okay, next question. If I got sealed transcripts from a couple years ago, I can still use those right now instead of paying for them all over again. Absolutely. So, matter of fact, I've from the military and all the moving around, I've been to so many community colleges and universities before I obtained my degree. I have I have transcripts that have been sitting in my in my safe now for over a decade, actually. Wow. Okay, aging myself here, but over a decade, I've had transcripts sitting in my safe from when I first started trying to get into law enforcement, as well as when I was lateraling and going to different departments throughout my career, because once again, I still had to provide sealed transcripts. So yes, if they are sealed and they're not open and they're official, you are 100% good to use them. Matter of fact, I recommend that for anyone. I'd rather you have them ready to go, sealed, and not have to fight with these organizations or these education facilities to try and get them, because sometimes it can take a month just for them to process that and then still mail them out to you. Other times they'll mail them directly to the department, which there's still an issue where it could get lost in the mail. So absolutely, I think you have it done right. I have multiple copies from multiple different colleges and universities that I've attended, and they've just been sitting down there forever. And if I ever need them, I have them, I'm ready to go. And guess what? That's just me moving another step faster than all the other candidates. So I can get locked in and get that hire date first and maybe even get a pre-hire going on. So I start getting paid and start getting some benefits from the hiring process. So absolutely, I think you're solid. You shouldn't have to do it unless the department requests that you send them over electronically through some actual website. Okay, next question. If you tried with your departments this cycle and didn't get selected, how long do you recommend waiting to reapply for other agencies slash the same ones? It depends on why I didn't get selected. Did I actually get a non-select, which means there was more qualified applicants on this hiring process, right? On this hiring cycle? That's fine. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of qualified people out there. There's a lot of people that really invested in themselves and knowledge and articulation training, maybe interview training, maybe, it's advanced skills, EMT, past CSO, community service officer. Maybe they already have experience, right? Maybe they were already law enforcement officers and they lateraled over. That would be a non-select, right? There's just more qualified candidates than you. There was nothing that you typically failed. Now, if you failed something, that's different. I would not reapply to a department where I failed their background, excuse me, or any of the other major phases of background unless they specifically told me to reapply in a specific amount of time. And I don't mean with their rejection letter. I mean, someone in the department said, hey, right now we want to see that you have more than 1 year work history. We're really looking for 2 years of consistent work history or 3 years of consistent work history. And you've been with your job for 1, 2, or almost 3 years. Then I would reapply if that's what they're telling me is the reason. Now, but that once again sounds more of like a non-select, right? More of a, hey, there's just more qualified applicants, where your background's not bad, just you just don't have the work history, that we're looking for. You could look at that as a DQ, you could look at that as a non-select. I think you could almost, depending on how they word it, you could categorize it in almost either one. But then I would consider reapplying. If it's your dream agency and you say, Frank, I don't care what you say, I'm reapplying, then reapply, right? You don't have to listen to me. You don't. The big thing that I will tell you is based on the procedures that we've enacted over the years of doing this, and we have a lot of stuff coming out for you to kind of show you what has happened. We've kind of compiled all the analytics. We have found the fastest way to get hired is to do a department audit, identify departments that you're willing to work for, right? Your top three and apply to those three and keep three in rotation at every time, unless a department tells you no, right? Like a department tells you no, then you put another third one, your fourth, fifth, sixth, whatever. And then you will get hired with one of those departments as long as you're an eligible candidate within a faster time frame than almost any other candidate out there. But if you're going to do stuff where you say, hey, I'm just going to keep reapplying to the same agency that keeps disqualifying me and you don't fix anything, right? Or maybe it doesn't matter if maybe you didn't make a mistake with them. Maybe you just don't meet that department standards at that current time and you just keep applying. You're going to hurt yourself moving forward for every other department. So here's what I would do. I wouldn't wait. If a department told me no, I would go identify another department that I'm interested in. I'd do my department audit. I'd make sure I hit all three of those key factors. If you want to know what those are, we have other videos that go over what a department audit is. Go check those out. And I would make sure that once I've identified those departments, then I'm applying to those and I'm keeping three in rotation at any and all given time. If you say, hey, I only want to apply to this one department, this is the only department I ever want to work at, well, then my question to you, and I ask this to a lot of candidates, is do you want to be a law enforcement officer or do you want to be a police officer for that department? And if you say for that department, great, then go for it. If they tell you yes, excellent, I'm proud of you. If they tell you no, looks like you're giving up on law enforcement, right? Opposed to saying, hey, I have a dream to work for this agency, but what if they're not even currently hiring right now, right? Well, I'm gonna give you a scenario, a plausible scenario. Say you're 35 years old, right? And let's say this department has a 37 age limit and you want to apply to them, but they're not currently hiring right now. Are you, and this is your dream job to work for that department, are you willing to completely pass that up and not go work as a law enforcement officer for them ever just because you're waiting around 2 years till you age out for them to apply? Or are you just making an excuse not to apply because you're worried about it? Right? Now that's one aspect, right? And this doesn't pertain to this individual's question. This is just me going into a tangent about what I hear from individuals all the time. So you're 35. This department's not hiring. It's the only department you ever want to apply to, opposed to applying to other departments, getting hired on with those departments, making your age cap not a factor anymore because you have years in service, and then lateraling to them maybe when you're 38 because that's when they opened up their hiring announcement, and then getting hired with them at 38. And guess what? You're only a better officer at that point in time because now you got perspectives from multiple different departments, right? If you just work for one department for your entire career, which is fine, it's good on you. Congrats for being able to do that. Then that's the only training you know, other than going out and getting additional training. That's the one concept. If you work for different organizations, they're going to do stuff a little bit differently, and you're going to get more experience and be a better officer, maybe even a better person because you have different experience where you can say, hey, I don't like the way this new department does this because I'm used to my old department. It's a pain to transfer over my mindset, but I really like the way they do this. And where you just say, hey, well, the whole purpose of being a well-balanced individual is being balanced and meeting in the middle. Maybe I should mold these together and then just try to be the best officer I can with the positive from both departments or all three departments or four if you wind up working for four. That's the way that I would look at that. So for this particular question, I would apply now. I wouldn't apply to the same departments I've applied to in the past, though, unless they meet certain criteria. And once again, if you want to go through and analyze that, sign up for a coaching call. Jump on the call with one of the instructors. They'll go through and break down. There's so many here that would be its own video. But yeah, that's what I would recommend is apply to other departments if other or if your first departments or set of departments told you no. So, all right, I hope this helps. Remember, if you want to get your questions answered or possibly even have them over here on Coffee and Donuts, just go ahead, type them in the comment sections on any of our social platforms, and we will get to you. We will not only answer them there, but they have a chance of making it here on Coffee and Donuts. Additionally, if you have something sensitive, go over and submit a contact form to us. We'll answer that question and to the best of our ability, and that way you don't have to post it publicly. Finally, the blog is in the blog link is in the description as well. Go over, check out. We're posting every week in our blog, and we're just expanding the knowledge that is out there. We're providing you as much free content to get you hired as possible. I hope you enjoy it, but give me some feedback, right? If you like this stuff, give me a thumbs up in the link, or give me a thumbs up on the platform that you're watching this. If it's YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. If it's over on our blog, we have a way for you to do a thumbs up over there. Well, just give me some feedback so I know I'm pointing in the right direction. Stay safe, and I will see you next time.